The Honourable Maurice Williamson.
Mr Speaker, I want to just explore a little political axiom with the House today, and it's literally about how the public vote. And, sir, I think that the New Zealand public are to be congratulated because they vote on the things that matter and they decide when it's time for a change. Sir, let me just give you a little example of an almost a simple indicator which sort of passed me by for many years. I stopped at the Ohakea way station once when I was Transport Minister, and one of the policemen there said, "I don't know why you pay all those officials at Treasury to measure the GDP." And I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Come inside." And I went inside, and he had a big piece of tracing paper. On the plane, there was the amount of tonnage of trucks that passed through the way station by the day, and he put the tracing paper on top of it, which was the New Zealand GDP, and they were exact. They were an exact copy. And he said, "I can tell you every day that I work here whether the economy is going good or sluggish or dropping, and I'll know that the grocery store down the road will be getting less people buying stuff and so on." It's that simple. It's that simple, sir. He said, "You just need my piece of tracing paper and I could phone you every day with the latest value of the New Zealand GDP," and he was right. And, sir, why I brought that up is because the voting public are like that as well. So they vote on one major thing, because if they had 487 votes when they went into a polling booth, they would say, "I like National on this, I think the Greens have got a better idea on that, I think something or other, whatever." But they only get one. And so they have to accumulate all of their views about the nation into that one-party vote as to who's best to run the place. And while the economy is actually functioning well, they will stick with the tried and true always. I know I've been in an opposition party on a number of occasions trying to ping the government off, and you can't do it while the economy is running smoothly, while it's going well. But, sir, the moment it turns to custard and the public think it's your fault, because they do give you excuses, they do allow a global financial crisis to impact, as this has happened. They do allow the biggest sort of disaster in terms of the Canterbury earthquakes to at least affect whether the economy is going smoothly. But in general, right now, the public are showing through polling after polling, and I don't care whether you go with Colmar, Brunton or any of the other polls you want to look at, it is quite clear from that view that the public are comfortable with the economic management of this country. All the issues that flow on from that, like whether your kids are getting a good education or whether my job's secure or whether my interest rates might go up, they're all secondary to whether the place is being managed well economically. And I'd say a message to the opposition that the one thing you've got to stop doing, because it's not going to help you, is having a double standard. A double standard like attacking us for allowing foreigners to buy land, when in fact foreigners bought twice as much land when you were in government, when they were in government. Now, sir, that can only be, I'm not allowed to use the H word, so I can only use the double standard word, that they sold twice as much land to foreigners as we did, and when they go on TV saying it's evil, it has no credibility whatsoever. When Labor get up and say it's wrong to be selling state assets, as they did when they opposed our mixed ownership model, the public just said, "But didn't they sell more of our assets than you've ever sold?" I mean, we were babes in the woods compared to what Labor sold. And so it's that double standard that won't win you a single vote, Mr. and Mrs. Labor. It won't win you a single vote while you know that you did it, and in fact you did it on steroids. They know, and they did it on steroids. And, sir, similar with the flag referendum, what I think won't give them a single jot in the polls is that they actually had a policy of a referendum to see if we would change our flag. And as soon as they realised they could maybe get a bit of political influence to try and smack at the PM, oh, it's all wrong and it's all evil and it's all disgusting and it's all disgraceful. But, sir, the public don't see it like that. The public go, "Well, hang on, isn't this again one of the double standards?" And I've got a list of the double standards. I'm not going to get anywhere near enough time, but I tell you what, you could go for 3 hours on things that Labor did. They did when they were in government. They stood festive. Oh, look, there's a better one. Let's go with trade. Trade's one on my list, but I've only got a short time. They negotiated some fantastic trade agreements. Well done, good on them. And now when we get the opportunity to bring 11 other countries into the Trans-Pacific Partnership, because they are so scared of their politics and one, they go against it. Well, Mr Speaker, they're wrong. They're totally wrong. Trans-Pacific Partnership will be one of the best things that ever happened to this country.